The fraud of Willow Creek. The phone rang, shattering the quiet of my Saturday morning. 911, what's your emergency? The operator asked. A woman's voice, shrill with outrage, filled the line. A man is setting up dangerous equipment in our neighborhood. It's a hazard to children. That hazard was a $40 plastic swing set I'd bought for my 7-year-old daughter, Lily, to enjoy at our new weekend cabin in Willow Creek. Before I could even anchor it in our backyard, a stranger stormed over, waving a clipboard and dialing emergency services over a child's toy. This wasn't about safety, it was about control. And I was about to uncover a fraud that had terrorized families for years. My name's Tom Harrison, a 52-year-old data analyst with a knack for digging into details. Lily and I had just arrived at our cozy cabin in Willow Creek, a small lakeside community in upstate New York. It was our escape from the grind of city life, a place where Lily could play freely. She was thrilled, pointing to a shady oak in our yard. "Can we put the swing set there, Daddy?" Her eyes sparkled with excitement. I was hauling the bright green plastic frame through the gate when Evelyn Carter appeared like a hawk swooping in. Her clipboard was a work of art, color-coded, tabbed, and paired with a utility belt holding a tape measure and a camera. She looked like she was auditing a construction site, not a suburban backyard. "Stop right there," Evelyn barked, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. "I'm Evelyn Carter, president of the Willow Creek HOA. That equipment requires board approval." I stood there, holding a swing set that weighed less than my groceries, wondering if I'd missed a memo about needing a permit for fun. "It's just a swing set for my daughter," I said, keeping my tone calm. Lily hid behind me, her small hands clutching my jeans. Evelyn's eyes narrowed. "Bright colors violate our aesthetic standards. We have rules to protect property values." When I asked to see those rules in writing, her face flushed, and she snapped. "The standards are clear. I don't carry paperwork everywhere." Then she pulled out her phone and called 911, loudly proclaiming I was endangering the community. I started recording on my phone, sensing this was more than a misunderstanding. Evelyn described the swing set to the dispatcher like it was a wrecking ball. "He's installing unpermitted structures. It's a safety nightmare." Lily whispered, "Did I do something bad, Daddy?" My heart sank. This woman was scaring my daughter over a toy. The police arrived, took one look at the swing set, and asked Evelyn for documentation. She stammered, "It's common sense." The officer, barely hiding his skepticism, checked my property deed and warned her about false emergency calls. As Evelyn stormed off, muttering about consequences, I knew this was just the beginning. That night, after Lily was asleep, I opened my laptop. Something about Evelyn's lack of paperwork screamed scam. The Willow Creek HOA website was a ghost town, last updated in 2018. No board members were listed, no meeting minutes, and no contact info. A search of county records turned up no elections, no filings, no proof the HOA even existed. Then, a violation notice appeared on my doorstep the next morning. It demanded $250 for unauthorized playground equipment and threatened escalated action if unpaid. The letterhead looked official, but there was no appeal process or regulation cited. It was all flash, no substance. My neighbor, Susan Miller, approached me later, glancing nervously around. "You're the new guy, right?" "I'm Susan, 2 houses down. I saw what happened with Evelyn." She lowered her voice. "She's been bullying families for years. My son got a fine for drawing chalk animals on our driveway." Susan showed me photos of her violation notices, fines for excessive garden plants, noisy kids, and even a non-compliant mailbox. None cited actual rules, and the $2,000 she'd paid in fees had vanished without a trace of community improvements. "The money just disappears," she said. "No repairs, no services, nothing." I headed to the county courthouse, where the truth hit like a sledgehammer. The Willow Creek HOA dissolved in 2020 due to a lack of participation. Evelyn had been running a fake operation for 3 years, collecting fees with no legal authority. Public bank records revealed an account under Willow Creek Community Fund, with Evelyn as the sole signatory. Over $70,000 had flowed in from residents, spent on her mortgage, a new SUV, and luxury vacations. This wasn't petty control, it was fraud, plain and simple. The next week, Evelyn called an emergency community meeting to address threats to our standards. The community center buzzed with tension as 40 residents gathered, most looking uneasy. Evelyn stood at a podium, her suit crisp, her voice commanding. "Certain newcomers," she said, glaring at me, "are defying the rules that keep Willow Creek pristine. Today, it's a swing set. Tomorrow, it's chaos, garish houses, unkempt lawns, kids running wild." I let her talk, waiting for my moment. When she opened the floor, I stood, holding a folder thick with evidence. "Evelyn, can you show us the election records proving you're the HOA president?" The room froze. Her composure cracked. "Those are with the secretary," she lied. I connected my laptop to the projector, displaying the county's dissolution certificate. The HOA ended in 2020. There is no board, no elections, no authority. Gasps filled the room as I showed bank records detailing her theft. Residents began sharing their story. A veteran fined for his fence color. An elderly couple charged $4,000 for community upkeep. That never happened. Evelyn screamed, "These are lies. I've sacrificed everything for this neighborhood." Then, in a raw moment, she choked out, "My sister always said I was a leader. After she died, this was all I had." Her grief was real, but it didn't justify years of deceit. The meeting ended with residents in shock, realizing they'd been conned by a woman they trusted. But Evelyn didn't stop. Over the next week, vandalism hit hard. Gardens were trampled, mailboxes smashed, always targeting those who'd spoken out. Then she crossed a line. I was working from home when Lily's terrified scream pierced the air. I ran to the backyard to find Evelyn looming over her, yelling, "This swing set is dangerous. Bad kids get hurt when they don't follow rules." Lily was sobbing, pressed against the fence. My blood boiled. "Get away from my daughter," I roared. Our neighbor, just pulling into his driveway, froze, witnessing it all. That was my breaking point. I sent Lily to her grandparents for safety and contacted the police, but they could only file reports without direct evidence of a crime. Evelyn's behavior grew erratic. She patrolled at night, flashlight in hand, photographing houses at ND, scribbling notes. She filed false complaints with the city about noise and code violations, trying to weaponize bureaucracy. Residents installed cheap cameras and kept lights on, not for crime, but for her. Susan and I rallied the neighborhood, collecting stories of harassment. A widow threatened over her doormat. A single mom told her twins were too loud to play outside. The psychological toll on kids was heartbreaking. Lily refused to go outside, asking, "Is the mean lady coming back?" Seeing my bold daughter shrink broke me. By Friday, Evelyn was loading boxes into her car, her house listed for sale. She was planning to flee,